Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by rapodcast.net. This is episode 827, recorded live on March 8th, 2025. And here are your hosts, the man who was supposed to pick a random beverage for this episode, Dave Pillay.
Hey.
And the man who is overruling him due to medical reasons, Andy Lowe. Hi.
Say what?
Tylenol and alcohol do not mix.
No, they don't.
And I have taken 2 extra strength Tylenol.
Are you perhaps not feeling well, Andy?
I tried to exercise on Friday, and I am still feeling it.
Oh no!
I have the iFit treadmill, right?
Okay.
And I was doing, I'm trying to branch out my exercise things there because I can hike, I can run, that's no problem. And I was like, well, I should probably work on some strength training stuff too. So I tried the intro body weight strength thing there. It was like a 20-minute like beginner body weight cardio strength training sort of thing there. And that 20 minutes seems to have really kicked my butt.
So there's a comment in here about no longer being in your 30s.
No, I'm not anymore, am I?
I don't know if I want to make said comment
because
later this year, it will also be true of me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like 26.
So, yeah, the 2 out of the 3 beverages have alcohol in them.
Okay.
And I don't want to mix alcohol and Tylenol because you're not supposed to do that.
Yes. Do you know why?
Because both of them work your liver.
Yeah.
And if your liver is trying to work on 2 things at the same time, that means it will stay in your system. Both of them will stay in your system longer. And you'll probably start to have liver problems.
Right.
So
don't mess with your liver, folks.
No. That's why I have overruled and taken bottle number 3 out of the 3.
Okay.
Which is Wild Cherry and Cream Pepsi.
Yum. Oh, what a missed opportunity for tonight.
What?
Well, so I am having an alcoholic beverage. I have a beer here. It's a gluten-free beer. I've had it for a while. It's an okay beer. But in my garage, I have Coke Orange and Coke Vanilla.
Oh.
And I have yet to mix them. Tonight could have been that night.
Sorry. But this Wild Cherry and Cream Pepsi. Pepsi has always been too sweet for me. And this is still too sweet for me. I mean, it's palatable. But once again, I do not go out of my way for Pepsi. Mountain Dew, though.
Mountain Dew, which is a Pepsi product, to be clear. This thing is
that's what I love about it. It's where, I go to the restaurant and they're like, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, are you Coke or are you Pepsi?
Yeah.
And if they say Coke, I'll be like, I'll have a Coke. And if they say Pepsi, I'll be like, I'll have a Mountain Dew.
See, for me, I go there as this, can I have a Coke? They say, we have Pepsi. Is that okay? I say, do you have Dr. Pepper?
I do have to say that Blackberry Dr. Pepper is actually pretty good.
Just Dr. Pepper is really good.
Yeah, and then they had, what did they have? Didn't they have like a Dr. Pepper like cream soda last year or the year before?
Yes, they did.
Yes, the Dr. Pepper and cream soda, that was really good. I liked that. Oh, man, it's going to give me burps all night, isn't it?
That's going to be great to listen to. This beer expired 5 years ago.
What?
I'm looking at the expiration date. It says Best Buy. Best Buy, August 5th, 2020. This is a pre-pandemic beer, right?
Yes.
No, pandemic started in 2020.
Yes, that is true, yes.
It was in like March of 2020?
Yes, but the beer was made before the Best Buy date.
True. So this may very well be a pre-pandemic beer.
Oh my gosh, how has that not gone completely skunky?
I mean, it's beer. What do you mean gone skunky? That's beer.
I know. Well, you're talking to somebody who can't drink beer without, basically deciding that my stomach will go, oh, hell no.
I mean, it's actually, like, the age has mellowed it out a bit. It's hiding the very copper taste, although it's got this aftertaste that is not pleasant. Maybe I'll stop drinking that.
Oh.
I think I'm just going to pour that down the sink.
There was...
It started good, and then it gets, like, sour. I don't want sour beer. Oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, I love you. Laura just brought me a glass with ice and a can of Coke cream, orange cream, and a can of vanilla Coke.
Oh my gosh.
I love you. Would you take this and pour it down the sink? Thank you.
Okay, that's amazing. For a second there, I thought you were talking to me, and I was very confused.
Nope. Andy, I appreciate you.
Yes.
And in it's like ancient Greece had a number of different kinds of love, and one is like love between brothers. And I think that's,
yes.
I'd say that exists.
I could see that, yes. I do
I think
agree.
that's filial love. All right, I tried to do this as a balance of like half and half of the orange cream and vanilla, although now that I think about it, half and half with just the orange Coke might be worth trying.
Oh, just a regular and orange?
No, orange Coke and half and half.
Oh. Yeah, get a little bit more of that creamy flavor in.
Or an orange Coke float. Oh my god, an orange Coke float. With like butter pecan ice cream. The orange, as was true with you when you had it, is overpowering.
Yes.
So I don't know that half and half between these is the way to go. I think you're going to need more vanilla Coke than orange Coke.
No, I could see that. Yes.
I don't know when this became a drinks review podcast. We seem to have strayed from our original intent.
Well, even when I was, YouTube asks you, when you upload the podcast, they ask you for a category for your podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do
you put drinks review?
No, I'm just like, because there's one for video games and there's one for science and technology.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of more often.
Cover both.
Yeah, but I've been more often covering, science and technology rather than video games.
We don't go too far into the games industry.
No.
We could do much more in the games industry than what we do.
Yes, that is true.
That is so much better than the beer. That is so much better than the beer.
I would agree, yes. No, there was... I can't even remember what the story was, but there was something about skunk beer in the Census Bureau, and I can't remember what it was, because that was 15 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow. Things seem so close, and then you think about them, just like, oh no, that's not close at all.
Nope. That's life.
Oh,
that
I know.
Happens.
I know. I mean, we went to a glow party at Isaac's school, and we ran into Isaac's kindergarten teacher. She was manning the thing there, and we're like, oh, yep, nope, Megan's going to be going here, like, next year. And we're just like, yep, these next 3 years are going to be, like, the time where the two of them are together in the same building, and it's going to stay that way until high school.
No.
Because kindergarten, third grade.
Yeah.
First, fourth, second, fifth.
Right.
And then
Isaac goes to a different school.
Yes, and Megan's going to follow behind.
Yeah,
but,
like 2 years later.
No, because sixth... It's something where they're not going to line up again because they're 4 years apart.
Okay.
So they're not
right.
going to...
So this is the only time that it happens.
No, senior freshman at the very end.
So it's the only time that it happens until high school.
Yes, until high school.
Until Isaac's last year of school.
Yes.
Yeah. You the way you said it made it sound like it was going to be the two of them in the same building, like, for the rest of school. And I'm like, no, they'll be together for the rest of this school.
Yes, this school, they'll be together for 3 years.
But Isaac only has how many years left in the school?
Third, fourth, fifth. So yeah, next 3 years, third, fourth, fifth, and then he's off to the middle school, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then, yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be so kindergarten is in the same school then?
Yes.
I see. Yeah, then 3 years, and then nothing until 7 years later.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy, yeah. The days are long, but the years are short.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's feeling, isn't it?
Yep. And yeah, no, I thought, hey, 20 minutes, that won't be too long. And then I'm sitting here like trying to climb up the stairs going, oh my God, what did I do to myself?
I feel so sorry, my friend. I feel so sorry. I'm glad that you decided to try to work out. Congratulations. That is the right decision.
I know it's the right decision, but it still is a literal pain in my ass.
Yep. What's wrong, Pupper? Les hasn't been able to settle tonight, so he's up here crying. I think Laura's going to take care of it.
Yep, kids have done the same thing.
Yeah. Hi, buddy. Why are you out of bed? What? Can you use your words? I got to go take care of this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm doing the Wordle now.
Okay. Where were we? Time and kids?
Sure. Can we just go to topics?
We can go to topics. I should probably pull up the topics list.
That would be a good thing.
Yep. As I sit here and sip on my vanilla orange Coke.
Well, the first topic on the list is all about time.
Okay.
Because it turns out that physical media is also not forever.
Did they put a time bomb on it?
No. It seems that Warner Brothers... if you have DVDs from Warner Brothers from between 2006 and 2008, they might not work anymore because the factory that they used to print the DVDs in Pennsylvania. The manufacturing plant in Pennsylvania used subpar materials and were cutting corners, causing the discs to be poorly made.
Shocking.
And so now the discs are becoming randomly unreadable.
Absolutely, completely, totally shocking.
Yep.
I never would have guessed, never would have thought that it would be a possibility.
But Warner Brothers actually put out a statement saying that they are aware of potential issues affecting select DVD titles manufactured between 2006 and 2008, and the company has been actively working with consumers to replace defective discs.
Well, that's nice of them.
Whenever possible.
Hopefully with discs that were not made between 2006 and 2008.
Yes, the defective discs have been replaced with the same title wherever possible. However, as some of the affected titles are no longer in print or the rights have expired, consumers have been offered in exchange for a title of like value.
Of like value?
Yes.
Hey, so we're sorry that your copy of Batman doesn't work anymore. Here's a copy of Superman.
Would you accept Green Lantern? No, I would not accept Green Lantern.
The one with Ryan Reynolds? No. Only if you pay me. That's horrible.
I love that fact, though. It's like, however, some of the affected titles are no longer in print or the rights have expired. And it's like, well, wait, who owns the rights?
Do they revert to the creator?
Like, you're Warner Brothers. Aren't you probably the right holders of Warner Brothers Entertainment?
Is all of this like, has it become what's the term when the rights just expire and no one owns them, or the
public
original
domain
company's gone,
or abandonware?
No, not public domain.
Yeah, abandonware, I think.
Abandonware. Have these movies become abandonware?
I don't know. The really stickler part, though, is the fact that Warner Brothers hasn't publicly disclosed
which movies are affected.
Yes.
Well, of course not, because then everyone who has those movies is going to go run and check them.
Yep.
Why would a company be proactive about a thing that's going to lose them money?
I don't know. So there are people out there who have
started to compile a list?
Yes.
I hope so. Do we know what's on the list? Oh, cool. I was right. Batman. Some really weird DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
All of Entourage, season 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Errol Flynn Signature Collection. A lot of these are not Warner Brothers movies. Stargate SG-1.
Oh, no.
Hello, and welcome back. The Slim Case reissue.
Oh. I'm trying to think, because they changed the discs partway through. Wait, okay, so master list of RADA DVDs. Here we go. Okay. I'll have to send this to Kate.
Apparently 20th Century used the same plant for pressing the Stargate discs.
Oh, no. Slim Case reissue. Cool, because I
West
know...
Wing. Multiple seasons of The West Wing.
I know we have all of Stargate. I know that. We even have the 2 movies, even though there was technically supposed to be 3 movies, but, I'm not griping about that at all.
Yep.
I just don't know, because some of them are Slim Cases, but I'm not sure if they were the reissues or if they were the original ones.
I don't know.
Because the original...
I'm going to just point out that, piracy is 100% making a comeback with shit like this.
Mm-hmm. It's actually, I got the new computer up and running. So I'm working on the new computer, but then I'm like, okay, what do I need from the old computer? And so I started going through different, folders and external drives that I had hooked up to the laptop, and I was going through, and I found one of them that was just full of ISOs of our DVDs that we have in the collection. Because at some point I started to just basically just said, screw it. and just
took your backups.
I
your
just ripped
legally allowed backups.
I just started ripping things as ISOs because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen to DVDs.
Right. You have your Digital Millennium Copyright Act approved personal backups.
Yep. And I was just trying to figure out a good way to actually get them, so is there like a Plex server or something where I could just list all the ISOs and it could just pull the ISO and mount it as needed?
I mean, if there isn't, you could probably make one.
I ain't got time for that.
Just use Claude. Claude's writing a bunch of stuff for me right now.
I am just trying to limit myself to groups of 3s.
Groups of 3s.
Yes.
Threes what?
Well, just like, three goals, 3 things to do. I'm focusing on just 3 video games at a time.
Okay.
I do have to say, this is kind of nice, though, because my Infinifactory saves were on the old computer, not on the new one. Uh-huh. So I'm going through all of my Infinifactory builds over again. So that, that's been kind of fun, where it's like, what did I do the last time? And then it's like, okay, now that I've,
understand the mechanics more.
Yes, I understand the mechanics more. And then also, there were a couple of people who did Let's Plays with Infinifactory. So after I finished a level, I went back and watched the Let's Plays to see what other people had for ideas.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah, no, that would have worked better.
I did that on a couple levels of Space Chem because, in the Zachtronic games, when you finish the level, it gives you the histogram and you're like, you finish in the most common one. Like, yep, good job. You did the solution everyone thinks of. But then you look and there's like someone else finished it in a quarter of the time.
Yep.
And you're like, how? And so I went and looked it up and I'm like, oh, they have a different way of thinking about this game.
Yep.
They have a fully different way of approaching these problems. And oh my God, I see that now.
Yeah, there were watching a couple of the Let's Plays where I keep on forgetting that there are sensors that you can, instead of coming from the side, can come from the top. And it's like, just flipped my mind on a couple of these things where it's like, oh yeah, I was building everything as like a 2D plane. But then it was like, oh wait, I can actually do this as a 3D model.
Yeah.
So yes.
And it totally changes the game.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm like I'm just like plowing through the earlier levels just because it's like, oh yeah, no, I could do this. And then part of the time it's like, oh, I could do that with this. Oh wait, I don't have that piece yet. Oh, dang it. So, speaking of Zachtronics.
Yeah.
They were gone in 2022, right?
Somewhere back there, yeah. They posted the not the Magnum Opus, that was a different game they made.
Yes.
They posted the thing of like, here's all the other random stuff we had.
And then they decided to take a break. Well, they started a new developer group called Coincidence of the comprising of the original Zachtronics team, and they just put out their new trailer for their next game.
Coincidence. Kaizen, a factory story.
Yep.
Also, Chemistry Set.
Yep. But they just put out the trailer for Kaizen, which,
Chemistry Set is a quick, low-complexity card game about building molecules out of atoms.
Really?
To complete experiments before your opponent. It is primarily a competitive game for 2 players, but can be played as a solitaire game. It is not educational. No previous experience with chemistry is required or even suggested. I know some chemists.
Yeah, I know one too.
Okay, so Kaizen, a factory game.
Yes, a factory story. They just put out the first trailer for it. So, as I was literally playing Infinifactory, as I was also trying to find topics, I was like, well, this looks very familiar. And then I read through the article. I'm like, oh, because, it's a Zachtronics game.
Because but it's not.
No, it's not.
It's Coincidence game. Zachtronics is done.
Yes.
Although I'm looking at is this game relevant to you? And it says, similar to games you've played. Factorio, 3,300 hours. Shinsen.io, 11 hours. Yeah, I definitely see a lot of Shinsen.io in here. Mm-hmm. But also, wow, this is a game.
Yeah, no, I'm very interested when this is coming out. They haven't put any release dates on it yet, but
I'll toss that on the old wish list.
Yeah, no, I've got it on my wish list too, so very curious.
Release date to be announced.
Yep.
Crap. Cool. Well, thanks for that loss of time, Andy. Kaizen, a factory story. Puzzle game about moving things around a factory. Great. We got a couple of space news. There was a SpaceX launch.
Yes, there was.
Didn't go great.
Didn't even last as long as the last failure.
Little bit of a, what's the term, an RUD?
Yes. This was the second launch of the V2 Starship, the upper stage. And this was the second failure of the V2 upper stage before being able to even get past its main burn. Like, it didn't even get, neither one of them got up to the code, didn't even get past that first main burn.
The MECO?
Yes.
Main engine cutoff.
This one was a bit more exciting than the last one because the center engines cut out and one of the 3 vacuum Raptors cut out. So there was just 2 of them, and they're offset due to being part of a triangle.
Right.
So the entire spaceship then just started to basically loop.
No.
Yeah, no, if you have a chance to actually watch the video, because the video kept going for a bit there.
And it just started like...
It started to tumble and
ass
spin.
Over tea kettle?
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Yep. So...
Oops.
It was kind of ridiculous because I was looking at some of the recaps from some of the, rocket YouTubers that I follow.
Yeah.
They're all like, yeah, this kind of failed right around the same time as the other one did. So, the SpaceX engineers might have sort of figured out what was wrong, but they definitely did not figure out the whole problem because it happened again.
What am I looking for? Starship Flight 8 explosion. Debris streaks across the Bahamas night sky.
Yep, that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yep. Where is the video of it actually? Watch it explode after launch. Yep. You can see it on the like, how YouTube has the most, like, the frequency graph for when people are playing things.
Yep. You can see the spike right there.
Yeah, there's the big old spike where it's, oh my God, yeah, and there it goes. That's a big old explosion. When did they know that there was a problem?
Well, you could see in one of the earlier videos, because they actually had a shot of inside the area where all the engines are. They showed a shot earlier, and you could actually, like, see the engines working, and then they do a later shot, and everything's got a nice red tint to it. And you're like, oh, it's normally not supposed to be that color.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire in there. Okay, well, that's not good.
So here they're still attached to each other. It does the flip.
Yeah, the booster came back again, so they've got catching
the booster. They're all right with that.
Yes, that is still actually the Block 1 booster.
Yeah.
So.
Here's stage separation at 2:53. I mean, they did lose 4 engines off the stage 1.
They lost 2 on the boost back, and then they lost 1 on the landing burn.
Well, I'm looking right now before they even do separation.
Oh, there were some shutdowns?
Yeah, 4 of the engines are out.
Oh, well, I just remember, when they get to the boost back, 2 of the boost back engines don't light. And then during the actual landing burn, 1 of them doesn't relight. The cool thing, though, that I noticed was the chopsticks as well, as closing. So the chopsticks would close, but then for this time, the chopsticks actually slightly rotated around.
Swing over.
It swung over a bit. It looks like probably to compensate for whatever the in case the booster is not perfectly aligned with the tower, it's got some leeway there. And it actually, like you saw it where everything was slightly, off center because the chopsticks had actually moved over sideways a little bit in order to catch it correctly, which that was kind of neat. It was like, they've got the first stage down. They just
but here's the thing to remember. The humans are in the second stage.
Yes. Yeah, the second stage is where all the important bits are, and that one has not gone well now twice in a row.
Yeah, I'm watching. Apparently, I had the wrong video. That's why I was getting weird, like, what the hell's going on? Because now this is 8 minutes in, and one of the engines is out, and the 3 center engines are out, and it's just, like, full loss of control.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they let it just continue instead of hitting the termination system.
Yeah, that was the other thing that took a bit before the thing stopped. It's like, I feel like the flight termination, as soon as you saw that the Earth was on the wrong side of the camera, I feel like at that point, you should probably...
Yep. Pointy end up. Flamey end down.
Yeah. When it's not in that direction, I feel like at that point you should probably stop your rocket with whatever it's doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. If they knew that waiting a little longer would get it further out of range of it, like, hitting
that's
people.
True. That is true. Yeah, because there were actually some major flight delays out of Miami and a couple of the other airports.
Even with it tumbling, it's still going real fast.
Yep.
So the longer you wait, the further it's going to go.
Yes.
Poor Starship.
Yep. So Musk said that they're looking at another 4 to 6 weeks to get whatever Flight 9 is spun up. But they've got a problem with this Block 2 Starship that they probably should figure out.
4 to 6 weeks, but also like the FAA might want to take a peek.
Yeah.
Say,
who's left at the FAA that's going to be able to take a peek?
Well, I mean, someone's got to be there, right?
In theory, yes, but
and unless Doge has cleaned them out, in which case, again, like, conflict of interest is a term that used to mean something. You know how Musk is calling for the privatization of the post office?
Oh, he is? Because that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, well, that was kind of my reaction is, you know what? I understand why you say that. I'm for the nationalization of SpaceX.
Having delivered the mail, the USPS should not be a private entity.
No.
Nor
should it be considered the United States Post Service loses X amount of money. It's not there to make money. It's not losing that money. It costs that money.
Well, most of the money that they were quote-unquote losing was because Congress had mandated that the post office prepay their pensions.
Yep.
So they weren't even really losing money other than the fact that the Congress was making them do some silly things with their finances.
Yep. But this post service costs some huge amount of money, Andy. And they just keep raising the prices of stamps.
It's not on the topic, but they're actually looking at messing with the times for delivery. But of course, they were entirely vague because they were saying, some things are going to be at the same speed or faster. It's like, okay, what things? And the press release was extremely vague about what things were going to be at the same speed or faster. But there will be some slowdowns, but they didn't say with what. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like I said, their press release was entirely
too vague.
Yes.
SpaceX government dystopia. The hell.
Yeah. Okay. So in the news release,
about PS5 rentals.
Yeah. So they're trying this out in the UK.
Yeah.
But Sony is setting up the ability for you to actually rent a PS5.
Okay. You
could start with the digital edition with one controller starting at £10.99 per month. And there are there's a monthly rolling plan, but there's also a 12, 24, or 36-month lease options.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I'm not opposed to this.
No, I'm not either.
I don't see this so much as a rental plan as a leasing plan. You could buy a PS5 or you got a couple games you want to play. So it's £11 a month. How much is a new PS5
in the UK?
PS5 Slim? Yeah, PS5 digital edition in Great British pounds. What's the price right now? Is £389.
So if you leased it $10.99.
Call it $12.
Okay.
31 months. 31 months before you've lost money on renting a PS5.
Yes. I'm sitting here just, looking at the Wii and the Xbox 360 in there.
Right. That's my point. I have a PS4 downstairs that I don't have a use for it. This is great. I'm all in on this. I love this idea.
Oh, yeah. No.
Sony is going to hate this because they're going to lose money.
Well, they're either going to... Are they really going to lose money, though, if they get people to pay, a couple bucks a month?
Okay, so they could, in theory, they could produce fewer consoles.
Because the consoles just get traded around with people.
Right.
And these are all people who probably would not have bought.
Well, but then they need more consoles.
Oh, so if you have the people who have already bought them.
Well, I'm thinking for the next PlayStation, not
okay.
for PS5. For the PS6, if they did this like for the PS6, where it was, yes, you could purchase it, or you could just rent it. Also, Laura's pointing out you used to be able to do this with like Nintendos and Super Nintendos at Blockbuster.
Yeah, but I remember, or you could just pull the Walmart, purchase it for 30 days and return it.
Hey, no. That was a PS3.
Oh, sorry, that was a PS3 and Calling All Cars.
And we needed it for Calling All Cars.
Yes. Which, just watching you just destroy everybody in that game.
Apparently, I played that game far too much.
You just destroyed.
27 to 0 to 0 to 1.
Yeah.
I remember the score.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a thing of beauty to watch. Oh.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
That was worth every penny. Just listening to the crowd every time you scored, just going crazy. Oh, good times.
I felt really bad. Honestly, I felt really bad at the end of that.
Oh, I still love that Sin was in your group and she was the one who got the one other.
Yeah, she got that point. Absolutely. That's what I told her when she came up to me and looked like she wanted to murder me.
Yep.
And asked if I let her get that.
Nope.
Nope, definitely did not let you get that point.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Yep, no, I gotcha.
Yep.
But yes, no, renting a PS5, that makes...
I like this idea.
Yes.
I like this, I mean, and also the fact that, like, yeah, for $12 a month versus $400 to buy it?
I mean, I could even see, if Isaac really gets into video games or something, like renting one for like a month for like his birthday party or that sort of stuff, right?
Yep.
You're like, oh, you guys want to play? Well, okay, we can't, it's only got 2 controllers, but got a whole bunch of kids. Let's, get...
What would be great, too, is if you could do this, and if there was a website that your friends could be on that you could list your physical media and request to share it with each other.
Nobody's going to get why I'm laughing, but that's a deep cut.
Deep. I mean, we talked about Len2 on this show 8 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
Yes, for those who have been around for, oh my gosh, once again, time. Oh my God.
Yeah, time gets away from you.
Yeah.
Laura, actually, I was talking about it with Laura the other day, and she pointed out, like, who's going to mail stuff like that? And I'm like, well, like, a new game is $60. So, like, if I spent $10 to ship it to Andy and Kate, and $10 for them to ship it back, it's still better than buying a new one.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
So, that's a thing.
It's like GameFly, but better.
Yeah. GameFly, but, personal.
Yeah.
You are the GameFly.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. I am the GameFly now.
Well, okay, so other space news. The Ariane 6, which is...
I still hate that they named it that. Like, I know it's a different Ariane because it's, like, French. It's not, like, German, the Aryan race. But, like, why? You have to know that it sounds the same. Unless we're pronouncing it wrong and it's like Ariane? But, like, that still sounds the same. Why would you name it Ariane 6?
It's a French spelling of the mythological character.
I don't care. Of the mythological character Ariadne, but, like, Ariadne is the one who gave Theseus the hint on how to get through the Minotaur.
Yes.
Why are you naming your rocket this?
I don't... There
are so many better choices, and it's not an Arian. I guess it's Ariane?
Okay, let's go with Ariane. That sounds better.
Okay, it's Ariane 6. We'll go with that.
Ariane 6, yes. So the Ariane 6 had its test flight.
Sure.
There was a couple of problems with the second stage, but it was a successful launch.
And Ariane 5 is what put James Webb up?
That's an excellent question.
Checking.
Yep.
Sunshine.
Number 5.
Okay, so this is the Ariane 6. This is the successor.
Yes. And
because we have to have bigger and better rockets.
Yes. Well, things are getting bigger when they're going up into space. So yeah, they did their first official launching a French spy satellite into orbit, but it worked without a problem, without a hitch.
Yay.
So the European Space Agency now has their own rocket. Again, which they seem to be very excited about, especially when
I wonder why.
Yeah, they're like, Russia or the U.S.? And
so Russia or puppet of Russia.
Yeah.
Am I going to get in trouble for saying this sort of stuff?
I don't know. Am I going to argue against you with it? No.
Okay. Well, good for them. That actually is really good. Also, like, NASA's budget might get cut.
Well, yes. There's a couple of different levels to this budget cut. What they're really trying to cut for some stupid reason is they're trying to cut NASA's science budget by 50%.
Andy, what has NASA ever provided for the rest of us? I don't know. I'm sorry. We just spoke of James Webb. What? Couple of minutes ago.
I mean,
that telescope is just up there. It's not like that's helping us down here.
Well, so of NASA's actual $25 billion budget, 30% is allocated for science. Of last year, that was $7.4 billion. Broken down would be $2.7 billion for planetary science, $1.5 billion for astrophysics, $800 million for heliophysics, and $2.2 billion for earth science. So, yeah, $2 billion for earth science. That, yeah.
Yeah, like, come on. We don't need that, right? That's $2 billion that we could give to Elon.
I love that this article here gives a chart of NASA science funding since 1980, and a 50% cut. Adjusting for inflation would put us back at spending that NASA had for science when we were born.
1984,
1985 range.
I mean, if you go back just a little further, it's probably actually a good thing. What was NASA's funding prior to the Reagan era?
Oh, that... Well, okay, coming off of JFK... JFK just threw everything at NASA.
Well, because we will go to the moon, not because it is easy.
But because we want to screw it to the Russians.
We got to screw the Russians.
Yeah. So they said, losing this money this fast has no precedence in NASA's history. My big thing here, and then I'm kind of, really annoyed about, is the fact that, one of the things that they had talked about as a possible, problem would be that they would actually shut off keeping in tabs on Voyager. So, all that time and effort that those scientists spent to make sure Voyager could still operate.
So here's the thing. I have mixed feelings on this. On the one hand, Voyager, space, history, cool. On the other hand, it's old. It served its purpose. It finished its mission.
Yeah, it's finished its mission a long time ago.
How much are you willing to spend to keep it running and keep in contact when at this point we aren't getting really a lot from it?
That is true.
That money could be spent elsewhere on
in our solar system.
More impactful research. Right. And like the problem is you could even make the argument of like, oh, well, but Voyager is leaving the solar system. Like, this is a great opportunity to find out what's beyond the solar system. Yeah, no. Do you know what the scales are that we're working with out there?
Even at the speed it's going, it's not going to cover a lot of ground outside of the solar system.
It's not going to exit the solar system for 100 years. Like, it passed certain thresholds that you could say that's the edge of the solar system. But, like, it's not even to the Oort cloud, right?
No, not yet, I don't think.
Let's find out. How far is Voyager versus the Oort cloud? Yeah. Voyager 2. Voyager is not much further than Voyager 2, if I recall. Voyager 2 has reached 100 AU, right?
Yep.
The Oort cloud starts at 1,000 AU.
Oh, yeah, that won't work.
And the Oort cloud spans 100,000 AU. The width of the solar system from the sun to the Oort cloud is 1/100th of the width of the cloud itself. So, no, let it go. Just maybe we'll go back out in like 1,000 years and we'll find it. But it's not. It's not worth it.
Okay, I'll give you that point.
It will take about 300 years for Voyager 2 to reach the inner edge of the Oort cloud and about 30,000 years to fly beyond it.
Which at that point, its own internal systems will have been shot.
Maybe we can get information about the Oort cloud, but like, not worth it. So yeah, I'm sad to suggest it and to say it, but at the same time, maybe we do just let it go. Maybe it's not worth holding on to that.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I sent the list of DVDs to Kate.
Yep.
She's got a better idea. She says, yeah, Animaniacs, Astaire and Rogers, and Pinky and the Brain are the things that she just saw right off the top of the list.
Oops.
Yep. Well, I guess I'll be emailing Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Well, I'll try them out on the DVD player first, and then I'll be emailing Warner Brothers.
Yeah, the thing is, to try them out, you may need to play through the whole thing. It's not like the first thing that a DVD player does is an integrity check.
Nope, it will be the whole disc, which I'm not sure if I've got those on ISOs or not, so I could just pop them into the DVD player here on this new computer and see if I can burn the ISO the whole way through without any problem, right?
Maybe? I don't know. I guess it depends on what mode your ISO copier is.
I think I just do the straight copy.
But does it do like a parity bit check?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or is it just going to copy including the bad and corrupted data?
Oh, that part I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to figure that out.
Sorry.
No, it makes sense. So yeah, other government fun things here is the fact that the Secretary of Commerce under Trump is now looking at rewriting the BEAD program, which the BEAD program was put in by authorized by Congress in November 2021 to help basically expand broadband access.
Okay.
Because BEAD stands for Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment.
I see.
Now, most of the things that they were trying to push forward was helping pay for fiber everywhere, which is why you saw fiber going in everywhere.
Except right here. Although I have fiber now, so I'm less salty about that.
Yeah. So, but yesterday, the Secretary of Commerce stated that the Trump administration will end the fiber preference and replace it with a tech-neutral set of rules.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, that means it is revamping the BEAD program to take a tech-neutral approach that is rigorously driven by outcomes so states can provide internet access for the lowest cost. Additionally, the department is exploring ways to cut government red tape that slows down infrastructure construction. We'll work with states and territories to quickly get rid of delays and waste. Blah, blah, blah. That's a whole lot of nothing burger. But the Biden era basically said that they wanted fiber to be the best because end-to-end fiber networks can be updated quite easily. They can have the best bandwidth both directions, so on and so forth. Well, they're basically saying that, okay, we're going to cut out the fiber preference and look into things like fixed satellite broadband.
Huh. I wonder who would be benefiting from that.
Who would be benefiting from a sudden influx of money into fixed wireless satellite broadband?
I can't imagine. Is there someone who's been putting up a lot of communication satellites?
On a, weekly basis?
If all of Starlink started just broadcasting white noise, how bad would that be? Are we talking like disrupting GPS bad?
No, because the frequencies are way different.
How different?
I'm trying to remember what is Starlink using the C-band or is that no? Because that's the 5G guys are using the C-band. Let's see, Starlink.
And how positive are we that the satellites couldn't broadcast on that frequency?
Well, everything on that frequency is tuned for that frequency. So yes, you could try broadcasting on other frequencies, but it's not going to work very well because your antenna is not designed for that.
But if your goal is to just disrupt GPS, I'm not talking like James Bond level, I'm going to trick the GPS into thinking it's in the wrong space. I'm just going to actually stop GPS from working.
All right, GPS frequency is 1.575 gigahertz. Starlink works on Ku, Ka, V, X, and K bands, which are all 8 gigahertz all the way up to 75 gigahertz. So they're way far away from each other.
Okay, so the likelihood of that is pretty low.
Yes, that is pretty low. Granted, most of the GPS is actually coordinated through the military. So if you really wanted to disrupt the GPS, just not update the GPS clocks.
I'm sorry, what?
The timings on the GPS satellites themselves need to be updated every X. I forgot exactly how often they need to be updated, but yes, the times on the GPS satellites themselves need to be updated so they know exactly what time and where they are.
Interesting.
But that would only basically be for disrupting inside the United States, which I say that out loud now, and now I'm just going,
Yeah.
Because Russia has their own.
Russia has their own GPS.
Yes. GNOS, I think it's what it's called.
Do we know what frequency that runs on? GLONASS.
GLONASS, that's what it is.
GLONASS runs on the L2 band, which is in the megahertz range.
Yes, so that would be
1.2 gig.
Which is...
It's pretty close to what the GPS runs on.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. Just food for thought. Regardless, this definitely feels like cronyism. Hey, my friend needs us to not be focused on cable, but on, like, satellites.
Yes.
Because he just spent a lot of money putting satellites in orbit.
According to a Wall Street Journal report, under the BEAD program's original rules, Starlink was expected to get up to $4.1 billion. But removing fiber as a preference on there and looking at fixed satellite broadband, SpaceX could receive between $10 to $20 billion. So... almost a 5 times increase in funding.
Andy. Worst timeline.
Yeah, part of me keeps on wanting to look at that whole $2 billion contract that Verizon has with the FAA that Starlink is trying to take over. Because part of me was like, oh, Verizon screwing over the government for a contract. I'm like, that's not the first time, probably won't be the last time Verizon screws somebody over on their contract. But then it's like, okay, is it going to be worse now that we're giving...
Elon.
Yeah, that $2 billion contract. Because they're saying, the Verizon system is not working. I'm like, I have heard that before. I have seen that before.
Right. The Verizon system's not working. Who would have ever imagined?
Yeah, but it's like, okay, but Musk is the one saying it, and he's trying to get Starlink in its place. And it's like, well, he might be speaking the truth on that one. I don't like it, but he might be speaking the truth.
Yeah, but just because he's speaking the truth doesn't mean he should be the one to profit from it.
No, that's true. Oh.
Long live the oligarchy.
Well, what else do we want on here on this list before we hit the randoms?
Let me pull the list back up.
Steam broke 40 million concurrent users.
Woo! What percentage from China?
I wonder, does SteamDB actually tell you where they're from or no?
No, but you can kind of tell based on what time of day it was.
Okay, so let's see. What day did they say that was? Let's see. Time today, March 2nd, 2025. All right, let's pull up SteamDB. March 2nd. Looks right around 1400 UTC.
So 1400 UTC is 10 p.m. in China.
10
it's
p.m.
the start of the workday in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I don't think those were mostly Americans.
Nope. Yes, Sunday night in China.
Yeah, right there. I see 40 million at 1 o'clock UTC. That's 9 p.m. China.
Yeah, and it peaks at 10 p.m. China before 11 p.m. China goes. Yeah, it starts going back down.
Yeah, you can see the bump of the U.S. So you see when it goes down, it like levels off for a bit before it keeps going down.
Yes,
that's when the U.S. is getting home from work. I think. No, that's like 2 in the afternoon. That's kids getting home from school, but it's on a Sunday.
Well, March 3rd is a Monday, and we are UTC -5 right now. Right? Oh wait. Oh, wait, it's daylight savings time today, isn't it?
It is in an hour for you, hour and a half for you, yeah.
Wow.
In an hour and 15 minutes, it will be 3 o'clock.
You know, a couple of years ago, as I have said, I hated today. I hated the fall one better. The fall one I hated more. But this one...
hated the fall one more.
Yes, because with this one, with our automation system at the radio stations...
Right.
The clock would jump.
It just skips ahead.
Yeah, it skips ahead. There are some problems that could happen where the commercial blocks are set to not get skipped and must play. So then it would try and skip ahead, but then it would play all the commercial blocks for the 1 o'clock hour all in a row.
Just one after the other?
Yes, and there will be no way of... You can't... They're literally put in as non-skippable, so you must go from one to the next, and then it would try and jump ahead until the next ad break, and it would play all of those. So there were times where, it was literally like, 22 minutes of just ads.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's trying to catch up, and then it would just play all the ads from the 2 o'clock hour as well. But it's not as bad as the fallback, because then people actually have to add an extra hour into the 1 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
So they actually have to make their 1 o'clock hour 120 minutes without actually, it was super dumb. But... not my circus anymore.
Nope, not your circus, not your monkey.
Oh my gosh, they actually bought...
Stay out of it.
They actually bought some more stations and put them in that building.
Oof.
And I'm sitting there the entire time going like, I don't even know how. Like, it was bad enough in its current state.
Yeah.
When I left, I had actually taken a studio down because we were going to move it. And the last time I went in that building, it was not a studio, it was an office.
Here's the thing. 40 million people signed into Steam.
Yes.
Only 13 million were actually playing a game.
What are the other people doing?
Well, I think they're like me. I'm signed into Steam.
Am I signed into Steam? If you're signed into Steam, can you check if I'm signed into Steam?
Hey, can you go look? Am I signed in? I don't think you are. Doesn't look like you are. Yeah, you are not signed. Well, you say last online 3 days ago.
That was probably when I installed Steam on my new computer.
So I don't think you're online unless you're invisible.
I don't think I have that set up. So, currently offline, last online 3 days ago. All right, so, no, I am not signed in.
So, I mean, grats to Steam for 40 million. Grats to Valve and the, 200 employees, because goddamn, they're making bank.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Should we hit the randoms?
Should we hit the reviews?
Yes, it is your review.
It is my review. I'd rather hit the randoms. It is my random review. I would like to review Revolution Idol.
That sounds like an American Idol knockoff.
Wrong Idol.
Oh, okay.
Idol, like an idle game, like a clicker, like
gotcha.
Cookie Clicker or Progress Quest. I still maintain Progress Quest is the original Idol game. There may be one that predates it, but man, Progress Quest was peak. Bring back Progress Quest. Actually, I wonder if I could bring back Progress Quest. I might have an AI project. Put a game on Steam. This is a idler game, so it's the you just sit back and you click a couple buttons. But the idea is it's instead of a linear progress bar, it's a circular one. And you just watch it fill up. And of course, watching progress bars is like a dopamine hit. It's so good when it gets to the end and then it resets. But then you buy quote unquote power-ups. You increase the speed that it fills the bars. Every time it fills the bar, the multiplier goes up. So you get more points every time it fills the bar.
So you don't actually touch anything. You just literally watch it spin.
Well, you touch the buttons to spend the points that you've accrued to buy faster bars. But that's kind of it. I mean, that's what an idler game is, right? It's buy this thing to increase the speed at which I get the stuff that I can buy more things.
Okay.
But this one is very aesthetically pleasing because it's this nice rainbow of circular bars.
It looks a lot like the Apple Watch bars.
Yeah, it's a polar clock.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's great for just just have it there and spend 5 minutes not doing anything. I should just rename it Soma.
Oh man, I remember that.
You want to talk about a deep cut? Brave New World, how deep can you get? There's not much more to say about it. Like, it's a mobile game, it's a game on Steam, it's free. If you like clickers, if you like idle games, which I guess are technically different, but are basically the same. A clicker is just, you have to sit there going click, 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 to do this. This one you click sometimes. It's a mostly idle game. It's a combination of an idle and a clicker. I do like in this one, so each of the rings, as I said, when it completes, your multiplier goes up. Each of the rings is an independent multiplier that all get multiplied together. So they all go up fairly slowly, but because they're all being multiplied together, like it's literally an exponential growth.
Yeah, I feel like this would be better if there was actually like music that was tied somehow into each of the progress bars.
I mean, there's music. It's not tied into the bars. I don't know how you would do that.
That part I haven't figured out yet either.
Okay, if you figure that out, let me know. We can spin up a version of this in like a couple hours.
Yes, I do like the fact that this is currently free to play on Steam.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's also a mobile version as well.
There is a mobile version, which I think might honestly be the better form for this.
Yep, mobile version also free. Okay.
Yeah, I would not pay for this.
No.
I would in no way ever recommend paying for this. But for just like a relaxing, like, look at the pretty colors and get that dopamine hit. It's pretty good.
All right.
I'm not going to complain about it.
No, it's hey, just sit back, relax, let the progress bars do their work.
Yeah, click a button every couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm. All right, Revolution Idle.
Watch numbers get big.
All right, time for the random topic?
Sure.
All right, random topic, rolled ahead of time.
Yeah.
Why are 2 rolls of flaming toilet paper in your bathroom better than 1 flaming roll of toilet paper in your bathroom?
All right, I know what you're going to say.
You do, because I don't even know what I'm going to say.
Oh, at least I assume I know what you're going to say. I assume you're going to say it's not.
Well, yeah, I don't think any flaming toilet paper in any bathroom would be good.
Hear me out. If you have 2 rolls of flaming toilet paper and you put them out, you will still have more toilet paper than when you started. Like than if you just had the 1. Not than when you started, but then if you just had the 1. The chances of recovering usable toilet paper goes up if you have 2 rolls of toilet paper that is on fire.
How are you putting out this toilet paper?
I don't know yet. Probably trapping it like under a bowl so it starves it of oxygen.
You see, because if I went into the bathroom and for some reason the toilet paper on the toilet paper holder was on fire, my first thought would be to get it off the toilet paper holder and drop it in the toilet. And at that point,
I don't know if putting it in the toilet is actually the right play. I think the sink might be better.
I feel like the toilet right there is a source of water currently available.
Yeah, I still think the sink might be a better play.
Well, okay, so if I'm in the upstairs bathroom, the next play would actually be putting it in the tub.
There you go. Yeah.
The tub is ceramic. Ceramic's really hard to burn.
Yup.
And there's, just turn on the shower.
Turn on the shower, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's presuming it's on the toilet paper roll, because, like, why would it be if there's 2 of them? You can't have both of them on the roll.
Yeah, because
I feel like if there's 2 of them, there's less of a chance that they're on the roll.
They're just, sitting on the floor?
Or the counter, or, I don't know, maybe one's in the toilet and it's on fire. Look, the question is, why is it better if there's 2 of them? And I gave an answer. I deserve some recognition for coming up with an answer.
Yes, you did come up with an answer.
Other than it's not.
I will give you points for you coming up with an answer.
It might not be the best answer, or a right answer, or in any way a good answer, but it is an answer.
Yes, it is an answer. I don't even know where... it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I walk in and go, why is this even happening?
Same thing with your kids making a trebuchet.
Yes.
But why?
Why? But why?
Oh no, it was a catapult. Sorry, they didn't make a trebuchet.
No, a trebuchet would have been the smarter idea, but...
Right, trebuchet, way better than catapult.
Yes, it is.
Unless your goal is to destroy the wall.
Yeah.
If your goal is to destroy the wall, the catapult might be better. If your goal is to destroy the things behind the wall, trebuchet.
Yes. It's like a hook shot basketball.
Sure.
Yeah, I just realized after I said that, I'm like, Dave probably has no idea what a hook shot is.
I know what a hook shot is.
Okay.
Just because I'm not into sports ball doesn't mean I don't know some things.
Well... I guess.
I think that's it.
Yep. On that note, that's a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast, or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.